someone that overthinks things, they get analysis paralysis, right? They just start thinking and thinking and thinking. They're frozen from their own thoughts, too many thoughts. And so I thought these were good little factors here. And it basically, to me, it all boils down to actually fear. Because if you're thinking, then you're not taking action. And if you're not taking action, then there's no consequence. And if there's no consequence, then there's nothing to be afraid of. So I think that the overthinking can be an excuse for actual fear. And same thing with like, oh, I'm a perfectionist. That's also fear. It's fear of not being perfect. And then on top of that, low confidence. Well, if you have low confidence, guess what? You're afraid. Your confidence is low. You're not sure of yourself, so you sit around and think about doing it instead of actually doing it. And then anxiety. Well, yeah, anxiety actually is fear. You're afraid to do something. And then IQ. Now that might be, I guess, maybe someone has a high IQ and therefore they're thinking a lot. And maybe that's not fear. But let me ask you a question. If you're so smart, then why aren't you taking action and making something happen? So you've got a big IQ, that's no excuse to sit around and overthink things. Especially because if you're so smart, why can't you come up with a quick solution? And why can't you realize that overthinking is actually causing the problem harm? It's not moving the problem forward. So quit thinking so much and take action. My theory here would be, if you're afraid of fighting and altercations, go train jiu-jitsu. If you're afraid of heights, work on some rock climbing. If you're afraid of the water, it's time to swim. It's time to surf. It's time to get out there. If you're afraid of pull-ups, if you're afraid of pull-ups, do pull-ups. If you're in squats, do squats. If you're afraid of public speaking, go speak in public. If you're afraid to start a business, start a business. Make it small. And on all these, what you have to do is you have to mitigate the risk and you have to ease yourself into it, but you got to go for it. And eventually you will overcome that fear. But the hard part is you got to take that first step. You got to take that first step to begin to inoculate yourself against the fear of the thing that's in your mind, because that fear generally is in your mind. That, you know, when you get up on stage to do a public speaking, people are not going to throw tomatoes at you and say, "Oh my, you're an idiot, get off the stage." No, they're going to sit there. You know, so there's nothing to fear. It's in your head. There was a friend of mine that was older than me, and he was always looking for the right girl. And the right girl to settle down with and to marry and have kids and all that stuff. And it never seemed to happen. And the reason it never seemed to happen is because he was always looking for perfection. Always looking for perfection. And I told him that, you know, perfection doesn't exist. And I also had another buddy of mine that was, we were like surfing, and he was always looking for like the next good time. Always looking for happiness, right? And one time we're surfing and I go, "Bro, you keep looking around for happiness. This is it. This is it, man. We're surfing. This is happiness right now." Do you ever feel like you're searching too much and looking for something instead of enjoying what you have?